20 years of Bunty Babli. Did it sink in?
No, it was a shock, in fact, and I didn't know that both the film and I have grown so old.
It was iconic film in its own way. First of all, working with the OG, the GOAT, Mr. Bachchan Sahab. While writing the character, what was the things and how he came on board? Was it very difficult to convince him?
It wasn't very difficult to convince him because I think the role was written that well and was brilliantly etched out, and it had all the ingredients for him to react positively. And that also came from a place that I have grown up watching him. I wanted to make and be in films because of him first. I wanted to be an actor like him. Then when I shifted my focus to direction, then I said that I have to at some point have him in my film. So this was actually the first original script that I was working on after Satya. So I said, this is it now. He has to be in it. So when we were thinking of the film to be this chore police caper, I said, police wala to bachcha nahi hoga phir. So he was in fact the first casting choice that was there on paper, and when we went to him, he was more than happy to be on board.
What was your initial interaction with him and how was it? And he is very intimidating as a person, as a persona. So
yeah, so I mean, I have met him a few times before, so I actually tried to, curb my enthusiasm and my nerves a little bit because I wanted to be as professional and approach it in the right way and be proper in front of him, because I think that's the way he is from whatever I had heard and seen of him. So I said, मुझे भी बिल्कुल professional रहना चाहिए. Script bound थी, proper narration beginning to end, पूरी film का दिया उनको. And I think we opened up and became a little more casual and friendly once he was on, and we started doing the look test. And I think till the look test, he thought that he will be able to get away with not smoking a bidi, and that day I told him that no, he has to, and he gave in. Obviously for the role, it was not like a personal thing. I think he realized where I wanted to go with it and project him in a certain way, and that needed it. So he agreed very, very reluctantly for health reasons only, because he had given up smoking 50 years ago, and to take him back. And then he says that, मैं अगर बीड़ी पीऊंगा तो मैं properly inhale करूंगा, मैं सिर्फ फूंकूंगा नहीं, क्योंकि स्क्रीन पे बुरा लगेगा, तो तुम पूरी तरह से मेरा धर्म भ्रष्ट कर रहे हो इसमें. खैर he मान गए, and he came out the way he did.
And bringing Junior Bachchan and Big B together, it was a treat for the audience and of course for you as a filmmaker. What kind of responsibility you felt in?
So yeah, when we went to Abhishek and told him, I was a little not sure whether they will agree to not play father and son. And this was going to be the first film. I think Sarkar was happening parallel, but that they were father and son, and it was a bigger filmmaker's film. So I was a little scared about that. And also because Abhishek was the second choice. And I knew that after this, I don't have another choice. And I had also made up my mind that now I think this Abhishek Bachchan, Amitabh Bachchan not playing father and son became a big USP for me. मैंने कहा लेकिन पता नहीं अब उनके लिए वो USP होगा कि नहीं होगा. So I was a little nervous about that, but he was very, very easy and came immediately on board, and then it just fell into place, and it was great.
And he pulled out some, iconic character of his during the entire whatever cons they were playing. So whose idea was that? It was before that, or it was incorporated after knowing all?
No, in fact, everything that you see in the film is not improvised at all. There are certain bits and ends here and there that are improvised, but otherwise, I'm a bit of a nervous wreck when it comes to making a movie. So I had everything on paper, even this last detail of location and how and what time of day and where to shoot and when to shoot. All that was kind of pretty chalked out on a proper schedule, and that was only possible because everything was on the script. All the songs were incorporated in the film. All the moments that will be there in the songs were already there as part of the shooting script. So we were very clear where it's going to go.
So could you please tell us about the hotel wala when he's doing the little Dinanath Chauhan kind of thing? Like,
Actually, for us, he was on the Marlon Brando trip, the original. But yeah, it is also to that. And yeah, we were having fun. I mean, it was literally like once we were shooting, then we were seriously having fun. You know, we were being serious about making the film, but we were also having fun because it's a fun film and that needs to be reflected in the way you're approaching it.
Mm-hmm. You worked with Rani in Sathiya and we love that film. So was it very comfort that she was the first choice?
Yeah. She was the first choice, and I think not because it's my film, I think it's her best performance till today.
I agree. So how challenging, and she's a fabulous actor. So what?
There's nothing challenging or anything with Rani. Is an asset to a film setup, and in terms of both as a cast member and as a crew member, because she's like one of the gang, you know. So Rani, Abhishek, even Mr. Bachchan for that matter. So this film didn't have any star hassles or actor hassles, you know, that we have to take care of things. They are okay with whatever is there as part of the unit. We make sure that the respect and space and facilities are given to them. But there's no nakhra, there's nothing that one has to worry about. They're all there for you and for the work.
And who was your first choice for Abhishek's role, if I ask?
Ask Abhishek.
I wish I could get his time, but...
Yeah, I think you guys should reach out to all of them and talk to them. They are the real faces of the film ultimately.
Mm-hmm. And if I talk about the story, it's Chor Police. At the same time, first time it's one of the very early films which shows the aspirations of small town, which was never shown in the films. So how much you have worked towards that? Because it's very interesting to see the very first time.
See, from a personal point of view, out of the two things, only the small town was my lookout. I want to make a film in small town India where I come from. The aspirational part is what the audience and people have taken out of it. That was not what was part of our plan or scheme of things. We were just trying to make an entertainer with the characters and the milieu that we were, getting into.
There was another interesting casting. Was a lot of old actors were there. Ranjit Saab was there, Prem Chopra Saab was there, Punit Isar Saab, like after Cooley they worked after so many years. And also, one more I'm forgetting, Babbar Sahab was there, Kajra Saab was there. So how was it interesting to bring them together under one story?
See, they're all super talents, and they all were kind of fitting the scenario and the roles, and the film was somewhere celebrating retro, so it can't happen with just art direction and camera work. It needs the voice and the faces also of some people. So you cannot be paying tribute to the 70s and 80s without the faces of the 70s and 80s, So, and then you don't have to do too much. Then them just being there takes you into that era, And it was very important for me to take you into a very, very mobile phone era without pushing it with art direction and design. So with good actors and the right faces, you're 80% already winning the battle.
How challenging was the scene where Mr. Bachchan and Rajabhai Sahab was there towards the end when they come home and...
It was a very different challenge, which only I know. No, I can't share the challenge. That challenge will go with me.
And there's a Ranjit Saab and Bachchan Saab's scene was as well. It was also very small. I thought it would have been extended. I would have enjoyed. So
no, then you would have said, "Yes, zyada ho gaya." You enjoyed it because it was that much. Yeah, because we were not going anywhere out of. Like I said, everything was written and planned. We were not stretching ourselves too much. Anyway, it was a long film. Anyway, it had beats that were not part of a regular film at that time. So we were already taking a few risks there, So we had to be careful with how much of what we can have in the film.
Another sole thing about the film was the music, which just complemented. I was watching the film again and it stuck in my head. So how you planned this music, and you were there throughout the process of the music, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, where will I be? I have nothing else to do. So yeah, I mean, music is a very integral part of our films, and it's a very integral part of my films and the way I kind of approach movies, to look at also and to do also. And I was quite clear that I wanted the songs in a certain way, a certain kind of sound. And it was the first time I was working outside of A.R. Rahman, whether as an assistant or my first film, it was Rahman. And I had, during the premiere of Satya, committed to Shankar that I will do my next film with him, and I went to him. And it's a relationship that has lasted now forever. And it's a great collaboration. And Gulzar Saab was always part of my kind of being in films as an assistant, and Satya was written by him also, dialogues and things like that. So I have a very solid relationship with him. So, and for Bunty Aur Babli and the subsequent films, it was very important, his role in it, because he lent the depth I needed, otherwise the films were very light and breezy. To give a little bit of dum to it, I needed somebody like him.
What was the briefing you exactly given to Gulzar Saab? Because what he have written is very relevant to the entire young generation. I mean,
he's young only. I am also young.
Yes.
So no, I mean his spectrum of experience, words, thoughts, images is so limitless and so vast that it's like putting a hand in the ocean and you'll only find pearls, So I've never had to deal with any sand.
We have to talk about Kajra Re. It's one of my favorite.
I think we cannot talk about Kajra Re.
We have to.
You have to just dance. There's nothing to talk about in it.
But Kajra Re, when they were making, Bachchan Saab was also there during the composition of the song. Could you please tell us if you have the memories of you would like to share?
He had rejected the song. I don't know. I think music is a instinctive reaction. And even while we were shooting it, he was never like, he was having fun because he's generally always in a good mood when shooting, but he was not really over the top with it because that was not his first reaction. I think over a period of a few years, he figured or understood or got the might of the song came onto him. But I think one should ask him more than me. For me, it was my hero in the song, father and son and Ash, and it was I was like a kid in a candy shop. But it'll be interesting to ask him for a person who didn't like the song instinctively and then go through it and now love it, did he miss being part of the liking action, or was he okay? I don't know. You have to ask him. I've never asked him.
How Aishwarya become the part of it? Because she was not the first choice and...
She was the first choice. She was the only choice. I don't know what I would have done without her. Would I have done the song also? I don't know. It was only and only going to be Ash.
And what was your vision for the song? Because before the song, there's a beautiful conversation. It was the first time meeting.
That meeting happened because of the song.
Yes.
So it was a... I mean, there was that was a sequence, and I said that if Mr. Bachchan and Abhishek are going to be in the film, you cannot not have a song. It demands a song. The situation will be created for the song. So we created the song and then created the situation for the song. Like Manmohan Desai used to say, give me the song, I'll create the situation. So this was that kind of song.
But it's musically, but visually it's so appealing. We love. We can watch it anytime and multiple times, back to back. So what was your vision for the story in that song, and did you execute it exactly like that, or it was changed?
More or less it was that only. We had an image of what we wanted to do. We had an idea of it. I think the set that Sharmishta made up for this dance bar, the kind of photography that Abhik did, it was very real. At the same time, it's a tribute to the Page Ghungru Band or Salame Ishq or those songs of Mr. Bachchan in the past. But it's got that time's sensibility and aesthetic to it, So it's just something that has come together. Even if you see Vaibhavi's choreography, it's nothing too much. It's compact, it's not scaled up, or it's not unnecessarily large. It is still in the world of the film. The set is not overboard. The dancers are all realistic. They're wearing different clothes. It's not one set thing. So it's I think that the blending of everything is it's got a restraint for a very over the top situation and song. I think that restraint of aesthetic and the restraint of the elan or the panache is very minimalistic, so to say, but it's a very larger than life idea and song. But I think it's just the matra of everything is correct.
And we just love the swag of Bachchan Sahab in that. It is like, wow.
उसका मेरे से कोई लेना देना नहीं है. That's his ownership.
Now we see back, it's like Bachchan family is in that song entire. How you see it, how you feel it, because that becomes iconic and everybody loves it till date, and it just became like Bachchan songs.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I love all three people personally for who they are. So for me, it's that kind of a lineup. I have a different devotion for Amitabh Bachchan, and I have a very warm, friendly, brotherly love for Abhishek. And Ash, I just love Ash, whatever she does. So, and not like a fan, but just I'm just in love with her. And for me, her beauty is not the glamour beauty. It's what she was in Ruvar, what she was in a song called Ishq Kameena with Shah Rukh, what she was in Humdil, what she was in Kajra Re. That's the Ash I like. Guru, Raincoat.
It's such a beautiful. She brings such a beautiful aesthetic in the song, which you can't define.
She's an outstanding dancer. Outstanding dancer.
Mm-hmm. So how long was she convinced easily, or
No. I took a cassette and played it in a tape recorder in a house, in a flat in La Mer in Bandra. And by the time I left the house, she was on.
how long the song took to?
I think with the scene, I think 5 days, song 4 days.
It was Abhishek Bachchan's birthday as well during those time, if I'm not wrong.
You may be right. I think it was the first week of February. 5th of Feb was his birthday. You're right. Not bad.
So working bird.
Best.
And also, that time, India was getting up for the rap, and you made Mr. Bachchan to do the rap with Lazy, if I'm not wrong.
Mr. Bachchan didn't rap, but he lip synced everything, and we shot it in some 4 or 5 hours. Yeah, he had some function to go to, and it was a non-AC floor number 4 of Filmistan, and he shot without AC, without break, and I think 4 to 6 hours he finished. He had some function of Lataji's to go for, and he had just that one day to give.
Who came up with that idea? It was very interesting. It was a promotional song, and how?
Yeah, I mean, it was Adi and all of us that we thought that we should do something. So we just overnight made a song out of the Bunty Babli title track. Just took tracks from it. It was not specially composed, and just made blase rap on it and finished it.
And how Bachchan Sahab was, I think I cannot figure out, I can't rap that song, and he was just picked up so...
He's a genius. There's no other word.
Now the film is 20 years. It has touched many hearts, and the song is still alive in everybody's heart. How you see the music flowing till date?
I mean, whenever I listen to the songs of Bunty Aur Babli, I like them. They're all the songs that remind me of the music I have grown up with. It's a tribute to the 70s and 80s LP, Kalyanji, Anandji, that kind of music. But it's got its own Shankar Ehsaan Loy touch and flavor to it. So yeah, it'll always be a very special album for me.
And what is the most difficult thing for you in the film? Or was there any kind of difficulty?
The whole film is only difficult to make.
How come?
Because it's never easy. Till today, it's not easy. So everything is difficult. Every day is difficult. Songs are difficult. Scenes are difficult. Costumes, makeup, everything is tough. What to do, choices.
And you shot in Banaras as well. It's one of the very early experience of shooting in a small town and...
Yeah, we shot in about almost 13, 14 cities, about 170, 80 locations. So, and all small town, India, UP, Ladakh, Dehradun, Rishikesh, Mussoorie. So it was all over Agra, Delhi, Bombay. So it was spread, really spread out. And it was committed to go to all location, kind of shoot and make the film like that. And I think hats off to Adi and YRF to back that and empower you to do that, because no one had done it so extensively before. I don't think even afterwards such a big film, mainstream commercial film, has gone and shot like that. Many later, but तब तक कोई venture नहीं हुआ था. People were still comfortable working on sets. But I felt that the film will get more scale and can run bigger with that space, Otherwise you're constrained. You have to work around just 3 or 4 gullies, and this film was not about that. This film was, they were literally on the run, So you needed drives, bikes, cars to move, because trains, because you needed that scenery to change and geography to change.
This is the director is never satisfied. He always wanted to keep changing a lot of things in the film. Now you see the film. Do you want some kind of changes, or?
That's why I don't see the film.
You not see the film? Why?
I'm done. For me, just getting it made is a big thing. Then to see it and see what can be better, worse. See, certain things will be like that. That's with anything, it's like giving an exam. So उस वक्त जो था वो हो गया. कुछ compromise था, कुछ magical था, कुछ mistake था. You have to live with that. So I don't want to get carried away with what is great. I don't want to be bogged down what is not good. It was what it was, and it's done.
And what was Yash Chopra's reaction, the come reactions at that time, if you remember?
I think he really connected with the film because I think it was very fresh for his liking and his preferences. But at the same time, I think he connected with the film being a little soulful, you know. Okay, there was some values in the film for the parents and homes, and a lot of the directors are connected with that phone call that Rani makes to her house, what their families are thinking, and those values they connect. Okay, it's not just कि ये कोई rebel without a cause वाले लोग हैं, कुछ इनमें भी दिल है. I think that's what he also connected with, and he loved the music a lot. So yeah, and he was very generous with his compliments.
I was watching the making of the, as you suggested. Abhishek Bachchan said the train wala sequence was very scary too in the first song. Dharak Dharak. So could you please tell us how challenging was it?
No, not for me. For him, because he has to stand at the engine, and it's a dangerous spot because there's very little space. So if you see that he's tied with a cloth and he's going all out. He's not looking scared or holding him even when he's standing on top of the train in the end. He's pretty solid. Those are tough things to do. And it was on a bridge when he's standing on top, so there's nothing. So, yeah, but I mean, some risks everyone has to take.
And what is the most challenging scene with Mr. Bachchan? If you have to pick.
For me, it'll be his introduction because that was the first time I was shooting with him and it was the first day of shoot with him. So I think I must have rehearsed the camera movement and everything about 100 times before he came. The moment he came, I thought I didn't know anything and I think I'll screw up the whole thing and it'll just be, he'll say, call up Adi and say, this guy doesn't know his job and I am not doing this film. So I was quite scared. But it went off well. I think I was well prepared, organized. He had come late, so which was not helping. I was getting more nervous and very unlike him. So I thought ये आने नहीं वाले हैं क्या वो है कि क्या है. But he kept messaging me. He was leaving Film City from a shoot, so he was delayed. So the well-mannered person that he is, he himself was directly reaching out, telling me he's late, he's on his way, where he is. So I knew exactly what's happening.
After the film got released, just well received, what was Mr. Bachchan might have told you or spoken to you? So what was those things?
About?
About the film, what he felt or what he's...
Nothing. I mean, he was just happy. And I think he was more happy for Abhishek because he got a good feedback and a lot of love came his way. Also, Mr. Bachchan had told me after our shoot was over कि पिक्चर चले या ना चले वो एक अलग बात है कि लेकिन कम से कम अभिषेक अब घर पे हिंदी में बात कर रहा है इस पिक्चर की वजह से. आई एम वेरी हैप्पी अबाउट दैट. आई विश बाबूजी हरिवंश राय जी वाज देयर टू सी दैट. So for me that was a big compliment because I used to talk to Abhishek in Hindi all the time to make sure he should be speaking in good Hindi anyway. He's Bachchan's grandson and Amitji's son. Yeah.
That was from my end. I think I just want to ask this Taj wala, selling Taj. It was such an interesting concept in the film. How many discussions went on, or do you want to share any anecdotes regarding that?
It was the first discussion that we had after we locked on the story. I said if you're making a film about con artists in India, it cannot be made without selling the Taj. And it threw everybody off first. And Adi said, you convince me first and sell it to me first. So then Jaideep and I think, worked for at least a month or two on just that sequence. I said क्योंकि जब तक आदि को ये आइडिया नहीं बिकेगा ये ताज भी नहीं बिकेगा. तो then वो finally crack हुआ.
Anything I've seen the film and just loved it. I think I've covered everything. Anything you want to say or if you remember that like the audience would like to know about the film?
For me, it was just very special shooting it in my hometown. It's a very strange kind of experience to have. If you brought up in a small town and you can take such a big movie back to shoot there, that does well. So it just makes you kind of part of their pop culture and memory forever. And we've lived off various other pop cultures in the city, So to become part of it, now whether I make good films, bad films, hit films, flop films, me, Bunty, Babli, Kanpur will all be together forever. So I think that's the biggest takeaway for me.
And the part of being a pop culture.
Yeah. More than me personally, but the film.
Film and it's
Yeah, I'm there to experience it and witness it.